Look, this is the book of Basair al-Darajat, a very, very luminous and blessed book. A book of hadith, Basair al-Darajat fi manaqib ali Muhammadin alayhi salam, written by Muhammad ibn al-Hassan al-Saffar al-Qummi, and this is one of the foremost respected scholars of hadith, and his lifetime predates al-Kulayni. This is one of the oldest books of hadith that Shia have, and very reliable and very trustworthy book. This chapter pertains that the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the divine guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is exclusively in the hands of Ahlul Bayt alayhim assalam. Nowhere else you will find it. لقي رجل الحسين بن علي عليه السلام بالثعلبية وهو يريد كربلاء. Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam was on his way towards Karbala. At a locality called Al-Tha'labiyah, he met a person, he met a man. فَدَخَلَ عَلَيْهِ فَسَلَّمَ عَلَيْهِ. That person came to Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam and greeted him. فقال له الحسين عليه السلام من أي البلدان أنت. Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam asked him, where are you from? فقال من أهل الكوفة. He said, I'm from Kufa. Al-Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam said, يا أهل الكوفة أما والله لو لقيتك بالمدينة لأريتك أثر جبرائيل من دارنا. Oh brother from Kufa, if I had met you in Al-Madinah, Al-Munawwara, I would show you the footprints of Jibreel in our house. Jibreel came, his footprints are still there. So Jibreel, when he came, there was probably raining, or perhaps it's an act of miracle. His footprint was imprinted upon the rocks of the house, or somehow. I don't know the details thereof. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away at the year 11. And Imam Hussain alayhi salam was going towards Karbala at year 61. So the footprint of Jibreel was still there. And it doesn't mean Jibreel alayhi salatu wasallam stopped coming after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As a matter of fact, Jibreel kept coming to Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. That's why we have Mus'haf Fatima al-Zahra salamullah alayha. And let me warn that we do not believe that Fatima al-Zahra salamullah alayha is a Rasul or a Nabi. Just as a Mary, the mother of Jesus, salamullah alayhima, peace be unto both of them, she was not a messenger of Allah. However, in the chapter of Mary in Quran, there are many verses which talk about how Jibreel alayhi salam spoke to Mary. At any rate, oh brother from Kufa, if I had met you in Kufa, I would have shown you the footprint of Jibreel at our house. وَنُزُولِهِ عَلَى جَدِّي بِالْوَحْيِ. And the remnants of Jibrael's coming to my grandfather when he would bring messages from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there would be remnants, there would be some kind of print, some kind of traces of Jibrael's coming. يا أخ أهل الكوفة مستقى العلم من عندنا. My brother from Kufa, or oh brother from Kufa, oh brother of people of Kufa. The source of knowledge, source of hadith, source of divine guidance are us, are we. مستقى العلم من عندنا. The source of knowledge and illumination and guidance from Allah Ta'ala are whom? Are we, Ahlul Bayt alayhim assalam. أَفَعَلِمُوا وَجَهِلْنَا. Is it possible the rest of the ummah, they know about religion and we do not know? That was a time, at year 60, 61, what most of the ummah had turned their backs towards Ahlul Bayt alayhim assalam, even in religious matters, right? So at that time, there was muftis and narrators, not so much muftis, but rather more narrators of hadith in various localities who were paid by Muawiyah and Bani Umayyah, and they were funded by them, and they were propagating a hadith, and they were supposedly knowledgeable about Islam. So Al-Imam alayhi salam is referring to them, that they know and we do not know. هذا ما لا يكون. This is not possible. Mu'alla ibn Khunais narrates from Abu Abdullah al-Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam, and the context of this verse in the noble Quran, which is in Surah Al-Qasas, verse number 28. وَمَنْ أَضَلُّ مِمَّنِ اتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ بِغَيْرِ هُدًى مِنَ اللَّهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse describes a person who is the utmost misguided, utmost wayward person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, who is the most misguided, the most astray person? There is no one more astray. Allah himself replies, there's no one more astray, more wayward, more gone to the wrong direction than a person who follows his whims, his lust, his desires, instead of the divine revelation, instead of the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So who is the most misguided person? This is the verbal translation, literal translation of the Noble Quran. This is not the exegesis from the Imam alayhi salam. Quran says, who, وَمَنْ أَضَلُّ, who could be more wayward than a person who follows his lust, his desires, instead of the guidance from Allah, religion of Islam, the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the sayings of the holy Imams alayhi salam. Okay. Imam alayhi salam said, Yani, Allah means a specific person by this verse. It's just not that any person who is following his desire. It's just not anybody. It's a specific person that Allah is denunciating in this verse. Who is that person? Man ittakhadha deenahu ra'yahu. A person who follows his opinion, his surmise. He thinks that this should be this way. Right? He thinks. He follows opinion. Ra'yahu. He follows opinion. Instead of what? بغير هدى من أئمة الهدى. Instead of huda, guidance from Aimma alayhim as-salam. Instead of ahadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, he follows his opinion or someone else's opinion. You understand? At that time, this term here, Ra'i had a very immense meaning at that time, at the times of the Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam, when this hadith was transmitted. Ra'i meant ijtihad at that time. So, at that time, at the time of Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam, the terminology used for ijtihad, what we call ijtihad today, they did not call it ijtihad. They called it Ra'i. This terminology changed over time. After a few centuries, people stopped using the term Ra'i. They call it ijtihad, especially in the Shia tradition, because of the so many ahadith which were condemning ar-Ra'i. And Ra'i and ijtihad are the same. You have to understand that. Ra'i and ijtihad are the very same thing. At that time, ijtihad was called Ra'i. So, this is a condemnation of ijtihad, a condemnation of Ra'i, condemnation of following opinion, or either your own opinion or someone else's opinion. You have to follow huda of Ahlul Bayt alayhim. What do you have to follow? Huda min huda al-a'immat al-athhari alayhim as-salam. You have to follow the guidance of A'imma alayhim as-salam. What's guidance of A'imma alayhim as-salam? Guidance of A'imma alayhim as-salam are their words, their instructions, their sayings, which is incumbent upon you to learn. Okay. And there are several other hadith with this on the same topic. The next chapter. Okay. Now why this is relevant to Karbala? Why this is relevant to Muharram that I am presenting these hadith? Because Imam Hussain alayhi salam is an imam out of 12 imams alayhim salam. So you have to understand who you are and what is your position in relation to Al-Imam Al-Hussain alayhi salam. Al-Imam Al-Hussain alayhi salam is the divinely appointed imam, guide, teacher that you have to follow and you have to love and you have to appreciate. That learning about him and learning his words and learning his assertions and commands is incumbent upon you. And it's incumbent upon you not to follow anyone else except the 12 imams alayhim as-salatu was-salam. You understand? And it's important that also with respect to Imam Hussain alayhi salatu was-salam, that when it comes to religious teachings, that you have follow only facts. And facts are what? The sayings of Imams alayhim salam, not opinions. That's very important. If you figure this out, which is very self-evident and very clearly true, that you have to follow facts, not opinions. If you understand this, then, mashallah, so many hurdles from your way would be removed.